अब तो है फासले दरमियाँ, मैं यहाँ तो वहाँ. This is a good song to sing during this Corona lockdown, isn't it? Like, it's been so long since we have met our family. You guys might be living in your with your family, but meeting friends also have been long, right? So this song has stuck in my mind. Let me know if you can hear me, if my voice is clear, if the video is good. Can you see my screen? Check. We are going to do the CSS part now of second part of creating our component library. So we are going to do a lot. Let's just set up things. Let me know if you can hear me, if the voice is okay, if the video is okay. आंसुओं से भरी दास्तां. Good afternoon, Tanay. Good afternoon. All good. AV is completely clear. It's clear, crystal clear. Cool. So don't make me shout, because then my my surili awaj gets bad. Audio is okay. Everyone is here. We'll wait for 2 minutes or we'll get started. So okay, so CSS is even more verbose than HTML. So at least you had like 5, 6, 10 tags till now. CSS, you will have so many properties, so it will take some time to understand. Don't get overwhelmed. Take your time, take some notes, search whatever you don't understand. Okay, so do all of this. So this is our component library. This was initially what we wanted to make it. Now we want to make it beautiful like this, and all this color, everything comes from CSS. And font, so I need one more browser open all the time. Yes, so this is there, very nice. And then we have the chat here. Caught up on all HTML in the break. Good. Is all HTML done? Yes, HTML is all done. No need, no, we won't be writing more HTML now. So CSS, okay, let's get started. First thing first is, how do you include CSS? There are 3 ways of doing CSS in web development. One way is that you do a style tag like this. Okay, I'll just show you. If you do a style tag and you say everything inside the body should be color red, and we'll be doing this. Wait a second. Is this not refreshing? Yes, see, everything became red, right? Everything inside body should be color red. This is one way of doing style. This is called style tag. Okay, so let me comment this. CSS way 1 style tag. The other way of doing CSS is using style attribute. Any HTML you want, and if you want to apply some CSS to that element directly, then you do style attribute. So style equals like this. Again, same thing, color red. That became red. This is second way of doing CSS. Okay, second way. Oh my god. Okay, what's the third way? The third way is what is used most. Okay, I'm saying too many, okay, I guess. So third way is what we use most in the industry. In any website which you see, you will see that being used a lot. That's called having a separate style sheet and then importing that style sheet in your HTML file. How do we do that? First thing first, we create a new file. Then we say this is styles.css. This is one way of creating file. This creates file here, styles.css. It should be .css. Then we write CSS here, body color red. If you say this should turn red, but it's not. Why? Because this CSS, this style, is not applied on this page. So how do we apply something on the page? That's the third way. Third way of doing CSS. External link. Link href. So the page is this, styles.css, and then you say rel. Rel is another attribute on link. It says what kind of thing this is. Then you say rel is style sheet. Again, these things you can search online, why it is like this, why it's not like that. And then when you do this, it should apply the CSS here. It's not applying. Link href equals to style.css. Oh, sorry, styles.css. Rel equals to style sheet. Made something wrong. Command R, body color red. So what if your CSS is not applying? You troubleshoot. Inspect. You see whether head is getting this file or not. This should come anyway because it's here. Then what is the problem? Don't know. Oh, style sheet, style. Yes. So this is the third way of doing CSS, wherein you have styles.css coming from a different file. It's much easier to do this. It's much more organized, and you can target a lot of elements through this. Rather than this, you have to apply for every h1. You have to go and do this. But suppose I want to make every h1 blue, every heading blue. I can say color blue, and all the headers, see, all h1s became blue. You can do the same thing, say all h2s, I want them to be green, and see, now all h2s are green. So this is called selector. Okay, you are selecting an element. You can select multiple ways. There are multiple ways. You can select via attributes, via tag, via class, via id, a lot of things. Okay, so in generally, if you want to select just one thing, suppose we wanted to select only the first, this Tanes component library, first header, and nothing else, then we would do id. Okay, and we would say id equals header or lib header, something like this. And then you would say lib header, you would say color gray, and then only this became gray because this is an id. What if I want everything which has a class equals para to be of a different color? Okay, so what I can do is so what I can do is, you can say class para, and then I think small is also a paragraph in my mind, just doing this, or this div is a para, so I can apply everywhere. And then I can select this class using dot, and say dot para, and we can say color red, green, yellow, RGB, yellow, pink. So you see this, only these two where this class was applied becomes pink. Okay, that's enough for the practice. CSS practice and import, or CSS selectors, import and selectors, push. This repository was on my GitHub, Tanay Pratap. Style sheet spelling. Style sheet spelling is wrong. I would have come to you guys only if I couldn't solve it. Okay, now let's get serious. This looks ugly. Okay, so we don't want this. So we'll remove all of this. Okay. And then we will remove these comments. I don't need this comments to distract me. These comments. Just clean up, remove this ID, remove class, I just want a clean slate again to not do anything. Clean slate. Now let's set up your dev environment. See, most of the time we are going to write in styles in this file, okay? But this we need to what we are writing. So we'll split it right on this left side. See, again, if you didn't see it, again, right click, split right, okay? So that index.html file goes to right and styles is here. So I would write CSS here. I would just see this to make sure that I'm writing the right CSS for every place, okay? So let's get started. Okay. First thing first, we need to fix the typography. Like we want a good font. So where do we get good fonts? We go to Google Fonts. How do we go to Google Fonts? We say Google Fonts. Go to Google Fonts. There are many good fonts. Select a nice looking English font. Don't select something which is like this. Or you can do two fonts, one for heading, one for this. But for this exercise, select a good nice font like Open Sans or Noto Sans or Montserrat or Lato. There are 5-6 good fonts. Select any one of that. I will select this one. And I need 2 weights just for now. I just need 2 weights. There are different weights of font basically. You should read about this: font weight, font italic, regular, medium, kerning, sans, all kind of these. The font itself is like this big a chapter, like 5 hours we can do only fonts. Fonts is that big, monospace fonts, different kinds of fonts. So read about it. But for now, I am making the choice for you that we will take 2 weights, 700 and 400. And we need to use this. So what we'll do is, we'll copy this from here. See this? I'm not copying the entire style tag because I don't want this in a style tag. I want this in my CSS file itself. So I'm copying all of this. Okay. This you can copy, this you don't need to type, and paste it here. So now what's happening is this CSS file is importing this font. But I want this font to be used everywhere, right? I want this font to be used on my body. So if I want to use that font, what I have to say is, the way to say that I want this font to be used is this, that you say font family would be Montserrat and it's a sans font. Again, what's a sans font and what is not? Read. Homework. Let me get some little bit. I need to code, so I need to get it straight now. Let me see my video. Video looks good. What's this? Yeah. So video is good. Font family Montserrat. So we need to apply this font family. Okay. So to apply this font family, you have to say where do we want to apply this font family. I am saying all body, anything inside body will have this font. And the moment you say this, see, all your font is changed. So your typography is done. This is the biggest heading, second biggest heading. Show you the normal text. This is free flowing all wrap. This is small text. What you can do here is you can also see a bold text. So what you can do is To do bold text, you can see this is free flowing, or add one more P. This paragraph will have a bold text. So to bold, you do strong. Strong is the tag for it. Bold text. So you see this bold text. So we have two fonts, two weights, 400 and 700, and that takes care of most of our needs for now. So we have headings and everything. This is done. Pushing it. After everything, every section remind me to push. Typography. Push. You can, why this? Because every time you can go and check this. Sorry. Every time you can go and see what changes I did. If you missed something somewhere, you can go to this and you can go to styles.css. You can say, okay, this is the latest commit, and in the commit you can see what changes I have done on index.html and what changes I did in styles. See, for styles, for typography, I did only 2 changes. So every step you can have, this is like I'm documenting steps for you, so that if you miss something in between, you will know what I did in that step to do typography next time. Oh, nice. I forget my own things. Okay, so this is done. Now let's have container. This is a fluid container. It will go till the end of the page. Okay, good for us. So now where we want the container to be, this is container, right? So we'll say, sorry, not h3, div. We'll say, we'll create class for container. We'll say class equals container fluid. Okay, and then we'll say class equals container, normal container, and then we'll say, okay, this is how you comment in CSS. So we'll say container level CSS is here. Let's say normal container. So what I want in normal container is that there would be some padding on the left. I want 1 rem. Now you will get overwhelmed. What is left? What is rem? I'll tell. And then we'll do padding right, and we'll do 1 rem. Now there are 2-3 new terms. See, as soon as we did this container, which has class container, got some padding. So on left, on right you are not seeing it. No, you are seeing it, it's here. So padding left and padding right, you got padding on both sides. Why is oh, because specified is a big word, that's why it came into this another line. Otherwise I was thinking, why this big? So padding, what do you think about padding? What is padding? It's just pad, right, which you put on your own body. So there is something called Css Box Model, which I need to explain now. Okay, Css Box Model. If you type this, you'll find hundreds of images. Geeks for geeks. Okay, this is better. So anything which you write, content is first, then there is a box created on top where padding is added, then there is a box created on top where the border is there, and then margin outside the border. So this entire thing creates one box for you: margin, border, padding, content. So what we did, the text inside paragraph is the content, then we put padding left and padding right, and then on the border we put border, right? We didn't put border, and we have not used margin. We'll use this, but this is Css Box Model, and it's asked a lot in interviews. plain CSS box model. This you need to remember, MBPC, margin border padding content. Okay. What is RAM? What is RAM? So there are different CSS units. Okay, units. So one out of that is RAM. You should read about it. There are basics. There are multiple CSS units. One is M, one is RAM, then there is pixel, there is VH, there is percentage, there is VW, there is Vmin, Vmax, CH. So you should read about this. But what essentially RAM means is everything is related to the font size of the element. So generally font size is 16 pixel. If someone is using font size 18 pixel, 20 pixel because people have eye problems, then all the spacings, all the padding increase with that, right? So it's all relative. So if I am having problem looking in this font and I say plus, then all the spacing also increases and decreases around like that. Otherwise it will be like the spacing will remain same, but the font size will increase, so things will go constricted. So that's why we use RAM mostly. So that's for the container. So we have to also define container fluid. Container fluid. This will have same padding left, padding right. So what we can do is we can make one container, two classes. You can apply more than one classes, and here you can say container and container center, two classes. So now you have one as container, then you have container center. Now see, both containers have padding. For one container, for container center, I want it to be in the middle, and I want the max width. Again, these are the things now which you should start searching or keep noting and look into it later. Max width 600 pixel. But if you pay attention a little bit, it's all English. Max width means the maximum width should be English 600 px. Margin should be auto. What this means, it will make it center. For container fluid, what we'll say is there will be no margin, there will be no max width, and there will be no margin. There will be simple container. So we don't need container fluid. Container fluid is container right now. See, this happens. You can remove things, you can add things. Now see this. If I do this, this is a centered container and it will go to the specified width, but it's not going. Why? Let me see. Padding left, padding right, max width 600 pixel, margin auto. Margin auto is not working on this. What did I do wrong? Container center, padding left, max width. And this is what happens with CSS. Sometimes you just do something and then things not work out. And then what I do is I generally inspect and see what went wrong. Class container, padding left, container center, but container center has not come. Why? Because I have not saved it. Yes. So you see, now this is in center, this container in center, because we'll have less content. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a 600 pixels so that it's easy to read. Otherwise in bigger screens you'll have to read like this, which is not nice. So you do this and then you read without moving your head. You can just move your eyes. That's why. So there's a center container, there's a fluid container. Fluid container will be used for the navs. So that's it. We have done our container part. Container. Push. Okay. What's next? Next is links. Good. So we'll do links now. Now links is interesting. Pay attention, because links has two things, primary link and secondary link. So we need to define a color for our website, a primary color for our website. You remember we defined that color using Tailwind when we were downloading the SVG. This purple color is what our current color is. So we have to define that as a variable and use it everywhere. This is a thing called CSS variables. Okay, in CSS variable you define something like this. Let me give you an example. You say that the root element, this is for entire page, that's a root element, will have a primary color which will be, say, just for example, this will be red. Okay, and then what I can say in links is that class equals link, primary link. Then we can say primary link need to be of color, and you have to, when you are using that color, you have to say var -- primary color. The moment you do this, both of this, and you save it, you see that this primary link became of primary color. But red is not a good primary color, and I have said before that we need to choose a good primary color. So we'll do that. We'll do Tailwind CSS. Am I up again? Yeah, it's working. No, there's some problem. Back. Okay, so you didn't miss much. I was just committing everything. So that was it. Now we are going to do link. So okay, I see that the questions are, what is this dot? This dot is used to select the class. This is a class link and class primary link. So dot is used to select for that. Okay. So one thing which I want in my link is that I don't want that underline thing. I don't like that underline thing. So to do that, I will say that text decoration should be none. So that went away. And I also want all my links to have a padding of top padding 0.5 rem, left padding 1 rem, and if I leave it at that, it goes like this: top, right, bottom, left, top, right, bottom, left. So if you give only top and right, then the top one will be applied to bottom and the right one will be applied to left. So this is like a short form. Instead of doing padding left and padding right, I can do padding, because the top padding is 0, so I can say top is 0 and left and right are 1. So we say 1 rem and it will be applied the same thing. So I can delete this. So I want this, that there should be a padding. Primary link looks nice. Now this designing is going to get a little difficult, so we'll look into it. So for primary link, what I want is, I want the background color to be this, not the color. So I want that the background color. Okay. Second. So background color to be this. So this became primary link, right? Other thing which I want is that all this primary link should have a radius, border radius should be 0.5 rem. This looks good. Now I don't want the color to be black, I want the color to be white. So this becomes your primary link. This looks good. Nice and good. Primary link. Let me see this. Yeah, same. And I also want a secondary link. So I do secondary link. We do, for this, I want the color to be primary. Color to be primary. So you do this. You do this. The color is primary. And then for this also I want the border radius to be 0.5 rem, but there is no border color. So what I want to do is I want to give it a border. So border would be 1 pixel, and I want a solid border, and I want the color of it to be primary. So this, if you don't know, this look like, oh my god, what is he doing, right? If you don't know this, then you need to read about how to apply border. I don't know, someone is pinging me on. I'm switching off my internet, so if you need to reach me, call me. Where primary solid, sorry. So if you don't know about border, then you need to read about border CSS property. So now I need to apply this, right? It's not applied, that's why it's not coming up on secondary link. So I'll say this is a link and this is a secondary link. Actually, the better way to do this is you do link and primary link. Link primary. This is called BEM method. You should look into this. BEM. Look into BEM. BEM naming convention for CSS. You don't need to look into it now. Like, look into it sometime when you want to read more. Okay. So this should be link and this should be link secondary. It's not important to follow it all the time, but if you follow it, it's a good practice, which I don't have. So I am also learning with you guys to have to do good practices in my life. Link secondary. See, so now you have the button. Very nice. So we have done the links now. Let me just merge this. Commit this. Link updated and just put links. So now one thing which is troubling me is that this link and line is like on top of each other. So what I want is that the HR should have some space. HR should have some margin. This is where margin property is useful. So I want margin in HR, but I want just top and bottom, not right or left. So what I'll do is I'll say top 1 rem, right and left 0. Top and bottom 1, right and left 0. Do this, you'll get some space. I don't like 1, I think I should have 2 more spaced out. Yes, this looks better. I think I should have 3 then. Much more spaced out, too much spaced out. So this is, again, when you don't have a design in your hand, you do something which suits your eye. So link primary, link secondary, HR is done. Now let's style the lists. Am I missing something? Let me just see the chat once. BEM is a function name. No, just search this. BEM naming convention for CSS. What is the primary color? The primary color is this. You can choose your own. Please choose your own primary color from here. Please. Suraj is asking if we have a portfolio already, can we submit it? You can submit that portfolio, but it should have all these things, all these sections. Someone saying secondary link, secondary does not have this. Yes, it does not have it, but still HTML didn't give that error because HTML doesn't give error. It's intelligent like that. So now you have primary link, you have secondary link. This looks good. People can click on this. Okay, so now we do lists. So now we do lists. Lists में we have UL, we have LI, we have, so what we want is we want unordered list, but here what we want in unordered list is we don't want to, this list will not have the bullet. I don't like that bullet. Okay, so if I don't want the bullet, what I can do is I can say dot non-bullet, yeah, let it be non-bullet, and we'll say list style, list style none. And since on this list I don't want bullets, I will remove it and I'll say style, class equals non-bullet. See, the bullet went away. This is an inline list. Even here I don't want the bullet. I don't want bullets here, so I will remove class non-bullet. What I should do is I should actually do it like this, list hyphen non-bullet, so that it follows the BEM convention. See, no, you don't need dot in the class name, so you remove this. Non-bullet. Now what I need, another one is list inline, so I will list inline and I'll say list style, I don't know, list style inline, let me see, no, box type list inline. If I want to do list item inline, I think I have to do it here. Yes, so I have to say list item inline and say display inline. Now these are, again, I told you, this is all verbose, so you will see, oh, what are you doing, what is this? So note these down and search for it. And if I want to do this, I will select all list items from here. And say class equals list item inline, and this became inline, right? I also want a little bit of padding left and right for this, so I'll do top and bottom 0, and left and right I'll do 0.5 frame. See, so this became inline list. This I want reverse ordered. So for reverse ordered, you don't need to do anything on CSS. On OL itself, if you say reversed, it reverses. So list is done now. List. What next? Next is nav. Oh, nav is tricky, but we'll do it. Let's see some chat. How to do changes together in all as sir did. I thought someone would have a problem. So what I did is I selected one. Look at it. I selected one and then I pressed Command D. In your case, in Windows, it would be Control D. So you can select all list items together, see, all of it, and then you can make changes together like this. Display inline, yeah, thank you. Good. So all look, people are answering the questions. I am happy. Thank you. So now what? Now we want to do nav. Now nav is itself already ready. We'll say class equals navigation, and inside navigation I'll have a class nav brand, and inside this I'll have ul as class equals, I don't need do I need a class? I don't need. I think if I do this unordered and inline list unordered and all the list items as inline, class equals list item inline unordered का नहीं था यार. What was the name for list? List non-bullet. This was list non-bullet. See, nice, no? And I can say this to be nav builds, again just the name. So what I did was I named everything in CSS, put everything a class so that I can do this fast. Navigation. Now what do I need in nav? I need nav to be a container, like a full-fledged container. So let me put container class also in that. Now what I need in navigation is that I want the background color to be var primary color. Looks bad, huh? No problem, we will fix it. We want the background color. We also want the color of, like the text color of the entire thing to be white. Okay, list is not going white, list is still black. So we will say what is the list? Nav pills. So we'll say dot nav pills color to be white. No. So if that is not working, there is another way. Dot navigation dot. So inside navigation, if there is a list item, then I want the list item to be color white. Oh, I know why it's not working. Do you know why it's not working? It's not working because it's not working because I'm changing lists, right? But what I want to change is the link, not list. So what I want is link text decoration to be none, and then padding and all of this. So what I should do here is I should say class link, and if I do this, and if I do this, it's black, right? I can say that if this is tricky. So if there is a link inside navigation, inside the navigation class, if there is a link class, right, I'm overwriting it now, then next level of inheritance. Inside navigation class, if there's a link class, these two selectors together means inside navigation there should be a link class used, and if that is being used, I can override the color and say the color should be white. Okay, so now I want you to do something. I want you to find out how I can make this go right. Okay, so what you need to Google is how to align text right, and then we will meet in 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Your time starts now. Timer for 3 minutes. Let's do it 3 minutes. Again, what to find? How to align this right, because we want it to be like this. Align this right? So find that out. Let me see. Text line right. Is it float right? Is it text line right? Done. We can use flex. We can use many things, yes. So for people who know, good. For people who don't know, how would you search this? What you would say is, you would say, what do I want to do? I want to move the text right, but is moving the right term? No. So I'll think about it. I'll say, okay, align, maybe align is the right term. So I'll say align text right, CSS, always add like CSS, and then say enter, and you will get the first thing, text align property, text alignment, text justify, all of this. Look into this, see what you want to do, and then do it. By the way, CSS tricks, this website is amazing. You should, like, if you want to be an expert in CSS, you should read everything which is there. Great website. Anyway, that's what the answer is. It's text align right, and we are going to do that. So what we want is all of these home products about to go right? So let me see. UL class non-bullet nav pills. So we say navigation nav pills says text align to go right, and this went there. Now the problem with navigation is it does not have any padding whatsoever. It looks, everything is looking on in my face. So I want some padding to be on top and bottom. So I want, say, 1 rem. This looks better now. Now what I want, that is the brand, the navigation brand, the nav brand, to be bold. So what can I do? I can say navigation dot nav brand, and say font weight to be bold, and this became bold. I am brand. Okay, and if we want, we can make it a little bigger also, but that's fine. We can make it a little bigger. Let's try that. Say font size would be medium, or you can say 1.1 rem. So it's bigger than, it's 0.1% bigger than the actual font. It looks okay. 1 second. So you can play with this the way you want. I am okay without the font size also. So let's do that. This is fine for me. Navigation link, all of this is done. Now what will happen is when you have a navigation, right, one of it will be active. Active means you would know that this nav is clicked. Home, are we on home, are we on products, are we on about? So you need to have an active class. So if you have a class active on this, say, let's put it on link only. So we'll say, let's put it on link only, link active. And if we make this, we can say dot navigation dot link active, and we'll say font weight to be a little bold again here. So now when you are on home, you will see home as active. If you were on product, you would put link active in products, and that would be active. By default, we have made home active. Anything else left on the nav? Yes, so you can always go back to the design and check, okay, this is done, this is done, this curve is left. So to give the curve, what you need to do is you say border. Now border is like this, see, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So I want border only on bottom left. So I'll say border left, border bottom left radius, and what I want is 1 rem of border like this. It looks beautiful, little bit. So that's it. Navigation is done. We'll look into header next. Navigation. Someone is saying I need the URL for GitHub. It's on my GitHub. You can go and find it. Do is github.com, Tanay Pratap. You can always go and look into this, and then you can see repositories, and here is the neogcamp lesson 3 live, which is going on right now. 4 people have forked it. Nice, man. So if you do not have it yet, so nav is done. See, now things are looking prettier, and now we need to do header. So we'll do header. Header. Now for header, we'll create a class called hero. Say class equals hero, and this will be class equals hero image. This is a hero image, and this will be class equals hero heading. Okay, so we'll do hero. We'll say our hero class should have a padding top and padding bottom, but not left and right, and that should be good. Like, I need a bigger hero, right, on the website, so I need good header and bottom. So say okay, there will be 2 rem of this. Then we'll say okay, next, what is next? Next is hero image. So we say inside hero, when you use hero image, that image should not have a width more than 300 pixels. So you should, or 350 pixels. Okay, so this became small. I also want this image to be a block. Okay, no problem. And I also want the image to be in center, so I'll use a line, text align, and I'll say center. No, Why is it not working? It should go into center. Display block, text align center, max width 350 pixel. Okay, because I should apply that on image. Image is max width, then wait, sorry, still image is not going into center. Why? See these things now. What did I do wrong now? Anybody has any idea? Margin auto. Yes. Thank you. Not text align. Say margin auto. Yes. Margin auto. There are too many things. It's not text. Yes, it's center now. Thank you. Whoever said margin auto, thank you for that. And it also, it's like you can't remember everything, so sometimes you have to just troubleshoot here and there, and then it comes up to you. Hero, what is hero heading, right? Hero heading, yes, dot hero heading. Now this heading, no, I want it little different. I want it little bigger. So if I want it little bigger, I can do it font size large or extra large. Let's see, extra large. What is extra large? Okay, so I don't want to do this. I want to say font size 2 rem. Let's see, too big. Let it be font size. The other thing which I want to do is change the color of the font. Color of the font should be a grayish font. I just thought of doing it. Where are the colors? Tailwind colors. I want this gray color. I like this. This 500, 400, 500 is fine. Let's do 500. This gray. So what I'll do, again, one thing which I'll tell you is don't define colors here and there. Always go to this and say dark gray, and then define color in your color palette there, and then use it here. Where this is very important, so that once you this looks nice. This. So why am I doing this? Because then if I have to change my color, if I don't like colors, I don't have to go through the entire file. I can change the colors here and it will start reflecting everywhere. I also want a kind gray, but I'll do it later. So that's it. Hero is also ready now. It looks nice. It has top, center, heading is fine. What we can do is we can give a little bit more padding on the top for heading. Padding top 1 rem. This looks a little below, which is good. It should stand on its own. You can also, like, this is not part of this, but we can also do something like this, and I'll show you. Suppose I was writing this, that I am Tane Pratap, or say I was writing Adarsh Balika, the web developer. Okay, and inside this is not part of my plan, but I'm just doing it because that's how sometimes I do. And I wanted to highlight that I'm a web developer part. So what I'll do is I'll say span. So I can use something called a span tag. Put the web developer inside it. And then inside the span tag, I can say style. And in style, I would say color var primary. I am not sure whether this will work or not. This will not work because inline styles won't work with color var primary. So what do? We say, so this is why I have not planned this. Class equals header heading inverted. If I do this and I say hero heading dot heading inverted, and I say color var primary color. Oh, primary color I should have mentioned. Is it primary color I have said? That's why maybe that didn't work, but we'll check that. See, you can highlight something. Adarsh Balika, the web developer. So web developer has that highlight and set. And again, it's using the same theme color, so your eyes know where to focus, what not to focus. This was not part of the original plan, but we did it anyway. It's okay. So so this completes your header, and we are done with header. Yes, push. Now we'll do section. Section is pretty simple. Let me see if there are any doubts. So doubts are getting answered. See, if it's going over your head, it will go over your head. It will not be natural to you what I am doing at this speed. The idea is that you note these things down, that what is max width, what is margin, what is padding top, and then you will see that it's the same thing coming again and again. I'm using the same color property multiple times, font weight property, padding property, so you have to read about these properties. But you will see that mostly I'm using the same. If you see padding, it's being used so many times. So it will go over your head, because I told right in the first session that it's going to be a little verbose. So the idea is to note this down, try this out, do here and there. But overall, see, understand the overall thing, right? Overall thing is very simple. Overall thing is that you put a class, you define that class here, then you see that the changes are coming up. What is the use of span? Nitin is asking. Span is basically it's like a div, but it's not block element. It's not block element, it's inline element. Span is like div, but inline element. So if you want to hold something in line, then use span. Why not use strong? Strong is used for bolder text, not for changing the color of it. Priyanshu, can we use strong in place of span? No. Strong has a literal meaning. Strong again is a semantic element, which means I am emphasizing, I am bolding something, highlighting something. How Ctrl+S is coming on screen when you type it? Dhuvil, I read it one time, you don't have to type it twice. It's called developer mode. You can do that. Toggle screencast mode. Oh shit. Command Shift P here. This screencast mode. Read about this. Take a screenshot, read about this. Let's do sections now. So if you are thinking this is overwhelming, I can totally understand, because this is not programming wherein you do the same thing, but this thing you have to read, you have to understand what these properties are. Mostly there are similar properties around padding, around width, around display as block or display as inline. So note these things down, read about this. Idea is simple, you put class and then you define how it should look, how a section should look. Section class equals section. So what I need to do is section class, this will have a white background, so I don't have to do anything in the white background section. Only thing which I want to do in this is, if there is a section and if there is a heading, no matter what heading it is, H1 or H2 or H3, if there is a heading, it should go center. So I want that to be text align center. Oh, sorry. So you have to use comma. So inside section, why did the add section go? Every heading became this. No. You want inside section if there is heading. If inside section there is a heading, no, something I broke. So if inside section there is an h3, wait, तो इतना हो रहा है, हाँ, if there is inside section there is an h3, it goes and becomes center. Then what was the problem with h2? If I was doing h2 comma h3, then everything is becoming section. Okay, so this also, if I want to centralized, I would use section. The both sections have become what actually inside the section we would use h1 mostly, because sections you can do h1. So let me correct it now so that we don't get confused later. h1, yes. So we want sections to be the headings to be in center of section. This will have a white background, which is fine. I also want all sections to have padding, because if you see, what is this? If you see these sections, not here, sorry, in Adarsh Balika it has paddings. You see the top padding here and the bottom padding here. So I want also the sections to have some padding on top and bottom. Somewhere around 2 rem would be good. Yes, this looks nice. Now let me beautify it, and then so if you miss beautify, it's Command Shift P to get the command palette, and then there is, if you type beautify, it will come anyway. So sometimes I just do little fast, but this is how you get the command palette we discussed yesterday. So this is a white background, this is fine, this is all white background. I also want a section to have an off-white color. So if there is a off-white section, I want it to have a good gray. Let me go and get a gray. I like this gray, light gray. So we will use this gray for our background. Again, what to do? Go to color, say off-white, and then do this and do this, and then come back. And now we are using background color for the first time. So we will use background color. And background color is what? Off-white. Where? Off-white. Is the color even there? No, because it's not applied yet. Like this. Nice. Problem is that the padding is not getting applied on this. Why? Because I did it in h1. Sorry, my bad. See, this you have to do troubleshooting section. Now it's looking good. Off-white section, this will have gray background, this will have white background. All of this is there now. So sections is done now. Nothing else. No, one thing which we need to do in section is right now sections go all the way from there to here, but we want the text to be in center. So what we should do inside section is, we should have a div with class container, so that it contains all of its content inside the center. What was the class? Container center, container and container center. I want this div class equals container center. Why I want this? Because I don't want people to read like this. It's very odd to read like end to end, because we are not having columns, right? Everything is in row. So I don't want, it will be very troublesome for someone, your employer, to look and read like this. Instead, reading like this is easier. So if now I do this, see, the text is in the center. So if I have filler text somewhere, it would look like this, but the background will go all the way, so it will look beautiful. Now, this, I said, this is work in progress. Let me go to Mozilla. developer network. This is like the go-to place for anything. And then go to getting started. And then just do this. I just wanted some text for myself to show you how this will look. Wait. Yeah, this will look like this. This will look like this. And if you grow the size, this will look like this. Easy to read, right? Because your head will be in the center and you can read both sides. This section looks good. White section, off-white section. Overall, the website would also look nice. You will have sections alternating. You'll have a good header. And then last thing is footer, right? We are done with CSS also. Wow, 1.5 hours. Good. Good. Let's do footer. Let's do footer. Section done. Once we are done with this, making the Adarsh Balika website will be like a cakewalk. It will be a cakewalk, I tell you. It will be a cakewalk. So for footer, what do we need? We need a footer class. What do we need here? A small header. So we'll say class footer header. What more do we need? We need this as class social links. Okay. Now one thing which we can do immediately is we can make these links look better. How? By using our system design, the system which we created. We can make, okay, so these will be links, right? Let me correct that first. These will be links. A href equals slash and then social 1, social 2, social 3. So these are links, but we decided we don't like links like that. So what do? We put a link class in all of this. Class equals link. This becomes better instantly. Now we don't like lists like this. We want non-bullet lists, right? So what do? We say non-bullet. This is why defining all of this earlier helped you, because now why is it not working? Oh, sorry. All of this is now repeating work, and you can use your other classes for this. What next we want? We want this list to be inline. So how do we do that? We say dish. Sorry, not dish. Where did it go? There was only 3 list items which we needed. So we select 1, 2, 3 and say class equals list item inline. See, this looks nice now. So without writing any code for footers, we have made footer a little bit better. Now what we want in footer is we want it to look beautiful. So the background color should be, you can do the same purple color or you can do a different gray color which we used initially, which is also okay if you use this dark gray for this, but I would suggest you do the one which we did earlier. So primary color. Then what do we need in footer? We need some padding on top and bottom. So we need top padding, we need padding on all sides actually. So let's do padding 2 rem, 1 rem. What we also want our footer to be is, so we don't want this padding, sorry, is the container thing, so that it goes all the way, and it also has this padding. Why container padding is not coming? Padding 2 rem, sorry, 2 rem, 0 rem. What happened? Something broke. Padding top is not coming up. Footer, class, footer, class, footer, footer. Oh, because both are fighting up. Okay, no problem. Remove container. We'll do it with this class 2 rem, 1 rem. No. Why by why? Huh. So yeah, this happens. Then what I want is all the text to be center in this case. So we'll say center. This looks nice now. I also want everything, all color to be white. This looks nice, but the thing is that link is still black. So what we can do is we can say, sorry, we should use dot footer for this. It will not have any problem. So what we should say, the links inside footer, the links inside footer should have color white. See, only there is one problem. Maybe you notice it, maybe you don't notice it, I don't know. One problem is that it's the links are not centered. Do you see that? It's little right. So when I was doing this, I didn't know how to fix it, and I want to show you how I fixed it, because that's the right spirit of doing things. I can show you how to do it in 1 second, but I want to show you how to fix it. Before that, we did this on top this side, so we will do on bottom this side. So this will be top right, top left, top right. So we will do border top right radius, and we'll say 1 rem. So this will look like this, now what was I saying? This is not center. So this baffled me yesterday when I was trying this, okay, that this is not center. So what did I do? I tried, why is this not in center? I tried everything. I tried inspect element. Okay, I was looking into, oh, this is in center. Oh, this UL. Then I went into UL. So I went into footer. I went into UL. I'm like, yeah, UL is, this entire thing is in center, right? So what is the problem? What is the problem? Couldn't get it. Okay. Then I clicked on this UL. What happens is, your browser has some style. I already told now, some style for every HTML element, and that style is called user agent style sheet. So this Chrome, in technical terms, it is called user agent, because it's an agent which user is using. So there is user agent style sheet. If you see here, it's something called padding inline start, this 40 pixel. So that's why everything is moved towards little bit right, because there's a padding inline start which comes from the browser. Now you have to override that style. So this was fun for me. So what I did was, I said, okay, if there is a footer and there is a UL inside it, I don't want the padding. So what did I do? I went and said, okay, padding inline stop. I copied this from here, and I said, I don't want this, I want to be 0 pixel. And the moment I did this, it became center. So what am I trying to say here is, there are times when you wouldn't understand why something is happening. At that point, it's very important to understand how to troubleshoot it. Okay, this is called style tab, this is called element tab. when you click on an element, you see a style tab for this. Style tab shows you what properties are applied on this from top to bottom. So CSS is called cascading style sheets, which means you can have multiple styles applied on the same item. The topmost style comes on top when you're in the style tab, and then the bottommost. So if I say you see this, now when I have padding inline start here 0 pixel, it overrides this style. So that's why the overwritten style is it's striked. Same way you see list style, it overrides list style type, right? So this is how you see it's where is the color, where is UL color, UL taking its color from? It's taking its color from footer, that's why it's white. Where is UL taking its text align from? It's taking it from footer. So it says inherited from footer.footer. See this? Where is it taking its font? It says inherited from body, font family, this. Where is it taking its primary color off white? Inherited from HTML. See this? And you can also see the box property. How much is the margin? How much is the border? There's no border. How much is the padding? How much is the content? There's no padding on UL, so there's no padding here. It's very important to understand this. See, anything you can do, you can learn 50 other HTML and CSS tags, but if you don't know how to break these things small and understand how to troubleshoot, it will be very difficult. So this tab, this elements tab, this style tab is very important. Pay attention, play with it, try to override things, try to find out, like you can, let me show this to you. You can go to any website, go to neogcamp, and you want, okay, what's the size for this, what's the design for this? This is not a jazzy design, so we'll go to a good design website. Say we go to microsoft.com, and this is how people hack NASA, by the way. And you're like, oh, I like this button, this color and everything, and I want to replicate this button. So what I'll do, I'll right click, I right click on the button, I click on inspect. This is the button, and you can see all the styles are here. The background color, how much is the padding, what's the color, the text color, and you see the text color is overriding the background color because background color is already on top given on call to action. The font size, the position, display, inline block, overflow hidden, line height, the shadow, you see there's a shadow in it. If I remove it, the shadow will go away. All of this is there. What's the transition when you hover? All of this, everything is there, right? So my point is, you can copy anything from internet if you know how to use this. So when I came out of college, I didn't know about web development, anything, like zero web development knowledge whatsoever. I was into network security, and then I was developing a website for my dad for his newspaper, and I was using WordPress. Okay, and then like I wanted to change something on WordPress, and I wanted the color should be different, and I asked one of my web dev friends, and he told me that yeah, you can do it here, try it here. And oh my god, this is amazing. Now I can copy the entire internet. I know the source code of internet now, right? So that's the fun part of it. This is how you hack your, yeah. How to import a font from Google font link, someone please tell in CSS. I did this, you came late part, so go back in the first 5-10 minutes only. I did the typography part. Where was I? So footer is also done now, mostly. Yeah, footer is done. All of this is nicely done. Only one problem here is that this body has a padding. Okay, generally body, I can show that to you. There is a 8 pixel padding here, which margin, sorry, not padding, margin in the body, which on the website we don't want. So this is why when you see this, it's not going end to end. See, this is not going end to end. I want this to go end to end. If I want to override that to remove that body margin, I can say margin. Now this body margin is coming again from user style sheet. Oh, sorry, here. Yeah, see, now this has gone end to end. End to end. This is how I want my website to look. This will be Adarsh Balika, the web developer, white section, off-white section. The header is not in center. Now I need to check why it's not in center. So why in the footer section, header, hero image, hero heading, text line center, the web developer, Adarsh Balika, the web developer. I like this fictional character who is doing all the classes and creating projects, and she will be there in level 1 with me, if not anyone. Forever alone types. I'll be there teaching Adarsh Balika. Oh my god, I can copy the entire internet. Yeah, that's true. So done. So the component library is ready. There is nothing left. We have done everything. Now we will use this to create Adarsh Balika website, and we will do that in like 10 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes break. I'll push this code, look into this code. Any questions, put it in chat. We'll get 10 minutes break. Everybody else, if you do not have questions, take a break. Take a 10-minute bio break, and then we will assemble in 10 minutes again here on this live. The live is on, and we will create a website for us. Nice website using these things. So what is left is only one thing, basically, to learn. To learn is how to create more pages and then go from like if you see the website, it has different pages, right? If you go to home, projects, there are different things getting loaded. So how to do this? This is the only part which is left to learn. Otherwise we have prepared everything. We just need to assemble those pieces together. So we'll do that piece. We'll do that in next 10 minutes. Let me start a timer. And bio break for 10 minutes. Timer for, did I push? Just to be sure, let me push it again. Timer for 10 minutes. 10-minute quick break for all of us. People who want a break, and then we'll get back and put the website together. So Nitin answered. Why is the content not getting messy by maximizing or squeezing the window? Because it's responsive by design. So this is what I was telling in the first part of HTML session, that if you use the right HTML tags, it is responsive by design. So content will not overflow on each other. That's the good thing, right? So I am Solly is saying I am running slower. I am not able to connect style.css to R mini. Hey Solly, don't worry, yaar. What you need to do is you need to go to this GitHub repo. Okay, this GitHub repo which I have been telling multiple times, and just look into the code. I am pushing my code all the time, right? This is the reason I am pushing it, so that you can go into index.html and you can see how I connected this link href equals this and this. So look into the code. The code tells the truth. Or otherwise, we'll have sessions on Discord. Is the timing up? Yes. So I wanted you guys to see something. This is a book which is a very good book. You see this book? This is called CSS Definitive Guide. Do you see how thick this book is? And even this book, this heavy book, does not cover everything around CSS. So CSS is vast. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are feeling there's too much to do, it's a genuine feeling. It should be there. It's okay. I feel it every day. Thing is that it takes time to learn CSS. It takes time to understand these things. We have only covered some things. There are, at least we have covered like 2 or 3 chapters max in this. There's a lot to cover. And in level 1, we are planning to cover some parts of it. Again, not everything. Not everything can be covered. But my point is it will take time. So read, try, learn yourself if you want to be good at CSS. Many developers, they are not good with CSS. I am also not. But I don't want you to be like that. And that's why we are going to put a lot of effort in level 1 to up the CSS game. Nitin is asking, semantic HTML mein, please Nitin, let's put these things in English. He's asking whether semantic HTML has option for everything. It has for most of the things, most of the text related things it has. For widgets and JavaScript you have to use div, but mostly what we have done is we have used h1 and p and things like that, which automatically goes small or big depending on the screen size. So that's why there's no mess happening. If I go small, it is like this. If I go big, it's like this. So it's much better that way. At last, please explain how to create versions in Git. Versions is just branch. You can create branches and then switch between branches. I showed that to yesterday, how to switch branch. So basically, if you had more than one branch, you can switch from here and then publish that branch. That branch becomes your version. Chalo, next part now. Let's do the website thing. So our entire thing is done. Now what we want to do is the website from here. So someone timestamp this so that we will know when we started doing the website. Some cleanup is required here because I want the index.html to be the main website and not the component library. Or what you can do is you can create 2 repositories. One will be component library, one will be your website. Problem with that is if you want to do some changes in styles, it will become an issue. So what I would suggest is that we do this, that we create something called a folder which would be lib, and inside the lib folder we'll say components.html. Then what we do is we copy everything from index.html, not copy, cut everything from index.html and put it in components.html. Okay, and let be style be there, let index.html be there, let it be like this. Again, if I want to have a normal website, I'll do this and I'll say home for Adarsh Balika. Okay, home for Adarsh Balika. And say h1 Adarsh Balika, just to test everything. Components are here now. Styles.css is there. Styles will still work or not, I don't know. Let's see. So the index page is clear, and we can go to this other page by going to lib/components.html. Styles is not working. Why? Because this needs to have a route link here. So that's why maybe you are not able to connect, because you have a different path to the styles. If you do this, then the styles start working. So you have to read about what is root path, what is relative path in HTML. Okay, so I'll put a link here. Path in HTML, relative HTML file paths. This is good. Read from this. This will tell you everything which you need to understand. Practice this so that next time if you make these mistakes, you know what is wrong. So your component is still here. You can always check the components in the lib folder, and in index.html we will create our website. Okay, to create website, good thing is now we don't need the CSS part, because we have created everything inside components. So what we'll do is, see how easy now creating the website will become. Go to index. What I want first is I want a nav, right? I want a nav. So I'll go into my components. I'll say, okay, where is the nav? Where is nav? Or I can do like this. See, yesterday I told you, right? Command P, then do at, and you have h1, h3, h3. So you can go like this to see where is nav, like this. So I'll go old way. So this is nav. I want a nav for myself. So what I will do is I'll do class, command C, command V. Now if I save it, it won't work. Like there will be a nav, but it's not working. Why? Tell me why. Can someone tell me why it's not working? Let me see why it's not working, if you know. Why is the nav not coming when I copy pasted it? Anybody in the chat who knows answer? Oh, I think there is a delay now when I say something that like it goes to you after 3-4 seconds. So it's not working because the style tag is not here. So what you need to do is you need to do link. This is how you connect href styles.css, and then link rel style sheet. This time I'll type it right, and now you have this already. Good, very good. What do we need here? Here we need home. In the brand I want to say Adarsh Balika, or like I said before, there I am developer, anything, like whatever cool thing you want to put your brand. And then this is home, and this is, instead of products, this will be projects, and instead of about, this will be blogs. See how easy now, once we have the components ready, it becomes this easy to assemble a site. Now what is next? I want a header. So I will go and get my header. This is my header. I'll put it here. This time though, everything, even the text is written. Adarsh Balika, the web developer. What next? I want a section. What section I want? I want a white section, or I want a off-white section. I don't know. What should I do? Let's try with a off-white section. so that there is a clear demarcation. So I'll go and get my off-white section from here. Copy, paste, and in the off-white section I'll say technologies, and I'll say what I am good at, things like whatever I have written already. I'll just copy paste that tag. I am familiar with HTML5, CSS3, Git, JavaScript, Node.js, React.js, web hosting. You can use bold inside this by using strong tag. Okay, write more, like don't just write these technologies. Think about what you know in CSS3 and all. Maybe you can write that. Then what do I want? I want one more section to show my projects. The header, its name itself is header. Okay, technologies. I want one more section, but this time I want a white section. So what I'll do, I'll just copy this. I mean, if you want to practice this, you can type it out, but in the interest of time, I'm not doing it. I want this to say projects. And I have already text written, so you should write your text to showcase my project, showcase my work, and thus I like to showcase my work and see my projects hosted online. Yes, thank you very much. I want to see that. And I also want a link to projects page. So what do? I go now to primary button. I want a primary button. I want people to go to that link. So I go to container, typography, links, and I copy the primary link here. And I say primary link, but instead of primary link, I said see projects. And you have this see projects. Then I want one more section. Do I want one more section? Yes, I want a blog section. One thing I can do we will touch it again maybe. So we want another off-white section, an off-white section to say this time blogs. And you can add more section. You can add books, you can add tech movies, or anything technical, or anything which is smart about you. You can write it. You can say I am very active on some things like Instagram or Flutter. I'm saying Flickr. I do photography. Like put yourself here. Just don't do only this. Just take this idea and make it your own. So to make it your own, once again I'm saying change the color, change the font, change the picture. You'll see you are getting a very new website. Change the text and then completely different. Okay, so section white, and this is blogs, and I have already text written for this also. I like to document my journey, which is good. Thank you very much for doing that. And then we will have another primary button here which will say read blogs, or see blogs is also fine. Browse blogs is also okay. I mean, whatever you want to do, we'll do read blogs. So now your website is coming up nicely. If you don't like the primary button, you can use secondary button for blogs. Use it the way you want to use it. Like you want people to see your projects and maybe not read your blog much. You want clear instruction that I want to show my code first and I want to show my blog later, then do secondary. And this is also okay. Whichever way you want to do it. Then once all the sections are there, I need a footer, right? So I go to footer, which I created. This big footer. I go to this footer. And inside footer, I would say connect to me socially, or connect or social media presence, or we can say online presence, like do whatever you want to say. And here you put GitHub, here you put Twitter, here you put LinkedIn, or whichever way you want to do it. And here you will put your GitHub ID, here you will put your Twitter ID, make sure that you test these things, and here you will put your LinkedIn ID, which I don't remember. I don't know if it's right or wrong. Let me check. Yes, it's right. Okay, so people can see your GitHub, this, that. Footer header we didn't fix kya? Did we not do the footer header right? Duplicate. Let me go to the lib/components.html. See, footer header is not fixed, so we'll go and fix it in components.html. All we need to do is fix it in styles. There's already a class for it. This is why I said if you keep things nearby, it is easier. So what we missed is footer header. If you want to do that, we say inside footer class, if you have a footer header, make it bold. So how do we make it bold? We say font weight bold, and we make it big. So we say font size, we say make it large. Give me a large one. Now you see here in the header, the image is broken in components, and this is again a path issue because it's going to images/0. So we will give it a root path and it will come up. So now even your index.html footer would look nice. Social media presence, GitHub, Twitter, LinkedIn, this. See, such a beauty. What I also want to fix is I want some space around this thing. So I want some padding on top of the link. So these are small things which you can fix. The padding on top of 0.5 rem, I want this to be, I want there should be a margin on top. Margin of top and bottom 1 rem, or just mention margin top 1 rem, margin bottom, so that you should always keep your buttons in clear white space so that it's easy to click. Ooh, is this even working? No. Why? Oh, because this is not a box. We'll say box type, box sizing. Now this again, you have to read about this if you want to understand what's happening. No, margin is not working for this. For some reason, link primary, border radius, something is overwriting. Acha, we'll troubleshoot it later. I want to finish this first. So let me do this. We'll come back to this later on. First need to finish this home, projects, blogs. Now if I go to projects, there's nothing. So I need to fix the nav. I need to say nav href / is fine, because if you click to home, it will be home. So this is good. Or you can say /index.html. Here you have to say it should go to projects.html, and this should go to blogs.html. Okay, and you need to create those files here. So you need to create projects.html, and you need to create blogs.html. Okay. So HTML5 again, emit. See, this solves your problem. This is blogs. We can use a header here. See, and we don't want an image for my blocks. I just want header. Say my blogs, and if I go to /blog, oh, this should work from here directly. My blogs. See, this header is good. Another thing which I'll write for you guys is, this is your assignment to get mark 5. Mark 5. This is mark 5 assignment. If you want to look into what is mark 5, see, anything you can make an href. So I want to say what is mark 5. You don't know, no problem. We'll put a link here for you, and I'll go to my 9-point system, 9-point neogcamp. Okay, not localhost, neog.camp. I'll copy this, I'll paste it here. So this is your assignment to get mark 5. Suppose I wanted this link to look like a link, like our link. Just doing this won't work because the style is not there. So what you do is you get the style tag. Now I'm moving too fast because I'm doing the same thing again and again. So just look at it and do it later. This is your assignment to get mark 5. Don't want this class link, let it be like this. Okay, this is your assignment, already done. Now projects also will have, similar to index.html, it will have a page, it will have an index, it will have a nav. So what we'll do is we'll take this complete thing, put it here, or let me build it again so that you guys can see. HTML5 device width is fine. Let me do this document. This is projects for Adarsh Balika. What do we need? We need nav again, right? Because we need nav. So instead of copying nav from components, it's better to copy nav from index, because this already has all the other links which you have put, which you need. So you go to nav and you go to this and you do. So what you should do actually here is, in blocks also, command P, blocks, maybe put it nav. Here I am a developer, link active. This will be active for blocks because this is a block thing, right? Let me remove this. This is a block thing, so it will be active here. So this, see, active blog. This at least I can put for you. And then if you put it in projects, you put the link active in projects. So now if you go to projects, it's broken. Why is it broken? Because this is not there. Make this blocks Adarsh Balika. Go to this, to this. So now you have a working navigation across the website. See this. Questions? Hello. Will you cover responsiveness? No, this is by default responsive actually. If you make it slow or big or small, it is responsive. So that part is covered, but there are no columns to make this responsive. So because I didn't like this, it would take a lot of time to cover all of it. So the design was to keep it simple, but still make it beautiful. Projects, home. Okay, so home page is done. Projects page, we need a list. We need a list, and we need it reversed. And what else? Let me see the my component library. What was in the list? Reversed ordered list. That's all we want. And inside the list, this is a project page, so I need little bit of header also. Let's see. So now it all depends on you. Like, I don't want a hero image for projects. Please do it. Please do it, and that is fine. Play with it. It's all yours for your thing, right? Here, what I would say is it's my code. See my code. Okay, and then in this, I need list item. Inside list item, I need h1. h1 is whatever projects we are making, or whatever projects you have already made. First thing you did was how well do you know me, so we copy this. The text, I'm just copying the text, and then we put a date, and this is where the small text comes in. So you put when we did it in November 2020, and then we put the details in the paragraph, and we can say CLI app sent to your friends. You can bold something like this. You can use strong. You can say Node.js, and then you will have buttons. So what you will have is you will have two buttons here. ahref equals your project link here, your REPL.it link, REPL.it something link, and then you say live project, or just say live project, and I want one more, and this one will say view source. This one will be GitHub, where you have hosted everything, github.com/tanay / whatever your project link is, the project repo link. Okay, now this will be a primary class, primary link, and this will be a secondary link. This will be a link primary, and this will be a link secondary. Now I don't see, just because I programmed everything, now I remember the class names, so that's why I'm using it. It's not like it should come natural to anyone. See, live project and view source, both these things are there. How well do you know me? This is a UL, I wanted a OL, so let's change that. This is first project, and if you do one more, add it on top so that the list goes reversed, and you will say how well do you know me, how Marvel fan, and then whatever you add your. So this will be your projects. So you see there is a problem. Problem is that this all should be inside a container, right? So you do div, you say div, and you do class container center. So if you do center, then the numbering goes all reversed, which is okay, which we can live with. It's fine. Maybe then we don't need reverse numbering. Let me remove this. So ul, and what was the class? Class was style. Sorry, class was list non-bullet. This is okay. So this Marvel fan, then you have list non-bullet, things like that. Below one also you have to put div. See, most of this is like repeated work in HTML and CSS. You do one thing once and then you do it like 5 other times, but that's okay. Container center. Okay, now you might be thinking that, you know, this should be little spaced out. So you can play with it. Like you can space this out, create another class, space class, put that class. You can do something like this on top itself, actually, that you create spaces and you say margin, say margin small, medium, just say medium, and say margin should be 2 rem. And if I use this class here inside this container, if I say margin medium, margin MD, did anything happen? No. Margin MD. Oh, for this it worked. Cancel. Refresh. For this it's not working. This is the same. Oh, for center. So for center it's not working because margin is auto. So we need to do padding then. Little bit of top and bottom padding. So you can play with all of this, make it beautiful. It's already 2:16 now, my god. But overall, this is how it would look. I'll also play with it, make it, I think there should be more header here on top. That we need to fix. Little bit padding on the header, on the top header. Think that is something which we need to do. So this is what I do, like start playing with it. Links, list, navigation, header. So padding is 2 rem. I'll say 2 rem is fine, but also do padding top for something like 5 rem. This looks better now. So that's what you do now. If you go to projects also, see my code is somewhere in the center. So you can play with all of this. This would look, add all your projects, all your blogs. For blog, let me tell you what the thing is, what the assignment is for blogs. So if you go to lesson 3, let me see if concepts are covered, variables covered, box model covered, selectors covered. Good. Assignment for point 4 is host your portfolio. We learned how to host this, right? So you create entire thing and then put your projects which you have done, your Twitter, LinkedIn and other details properly, your project source code and everything, and then put it online. So host your thing, you will get 1 point. If you want another point, 0.5, what you need to do is you need to add 2 pages to this website. So one page, the listing page is similar to project listing page. Like this blog page the listing page would be similar to how projects are listed. You write 1 or 2, 3 blogs, or just do like dummy. I mean, if you're not written blogs, put dummy. I'm fine with that. Put dummy. Say that this is a dummy content and write something. But design a similar page to projects page. So that is one part of it. Second part is a blog reading page. I also want your blogs to be read here. Okay, this is the tough part. Like how this page looks, but do it minimal. Just one h1, a date, an image, and then whatever content you want to do. That's it. So if you can't do it, don't worry. We'll do a doubt clearing session. We'll resolve it. Not now, after some time. We'll solve that assignment after some time if you can't do it. But think of it. A blog reading page is nothing but a page like this, where you have some content, you have some text written. That's it. So it's like the simplest HTML page is a blog reading page. You have header, heading, date, this, that, image, that's all. Everything flowing from top to bottom. So when I click from projects to live project, it should go to my live project. Same way, when there will be a blog, and I will show it to you once more. The blog listing page is something like this. So there will be blogs like this, same header, date, things like this. But when I click on this, it should go to something like this, a new page, and that page should read the blog. Okay, questions? So we are done with the class almost. I'll take some questions. And sir, when we host via Netlify, will it be like normal localhost, or if people search the keyword of the site will appear on search engines? It will appear on search engine. Yes, that's another homework for you. Explore meta tags. What are the meta tags which you need in the head of your portfolio, so that search engines can also index your site? Even if you don't put meta tags, search engines will index your site. But if you put meta tags, you share the link here and there, search engine will come in. Okay. How are you hosting on localhost 5501? Also, Sagar already answered. It's a live server plugin. So that's it. Yes. So Sushil is really right here. He says, personalize your own portfolio website. Play around with the CSS. Don't play around with the CSS values, all of it. Just play around with the colors, with the images, with the fonts. Padding and all, don't touch too much. Little bit. Don't touch too much. And also, that's it, I guess. What is before and after? This you have to read. Explain in short, doc type. Read again. These are things which you should read. These are all pure concepts, nothing else. Because I'm talking since 9 a.m. now, so I am also tired with this. But what I want you to understand here is, can you please kindly show your blog reading? Yeah, it's here. It's here, by the way. It's here in the session, in the guide also. Guide for lesson 3. Will this guide be available on neogcamp? It's available already on neogcamp. Neogcamp guide lesson 3. It's there. Component library. This component library which we made. This is also there. And the live session code is also there. Everything which I have done today and before is already online. That's it. And this is also there. I'll add this to the guide. That's one thing which I need to do. But if you don't find it, it's simple. Tailwind, custom colors. Do that. Okay, that's it. Without index.html, can we host our website? No, Netlify won't work with it. So don't try those things. How to keep it online always? See yesterday's website. People who created website yesterday, that would be online even now, right? We created this studentname.netlify.app. It's online always online. You can give it to anyone. So what you need to do is see yesterday's live, Saturday's live on how to host your website. Do what today's work is and host your website. The 5 first people who ping me on Twitter, like who tweet their website that this is my website, I created it, I will look into their website personally. That's my game. If you do it, if you host your website after doing all of this, ping me on Twitter. I am on Twitter, twitter.com/TanayPratap. Like don't DMs are anyway not allowed. Do an @ and say, hey, I made my first website, have a look once you're done, but with blogs, okay? Do we need to make the website from scratch for assignments, or take your exercise and do the following exercise upon it? So Aritra, my thing is that you should make it from scratch. If you want to be a good programmer, you should make it from scratch. Then only then you will learn this. So what you should do, if I was you, what I would do is I would just see this component library and make something like this. So take this code and just see this. And this is like an exercise. You make every part of it like this, like what should be center, what should be color, how the footer looks, how the header looks, and then make it yours. Make your own component library. This will help you learn CSS. Wherever you get stuck, you can come and look into the video. You can Google, you can Bing, whatever. So that's it for today. That was a great session. We made our own website. This is nice. I'll do my website live. You do yours. So make everything yourself, learn. Have a happy whatever is left of the weekend. It was great learning. Thank you for coming, everyone. Bye.